Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Soul Striker. Welcome back to another plugin tutorial. Today we're doing it on Combat Tag Plus. This was asked in my comments from Jeff on screen now, just asking me to do like a review and help him with some of the config stuff. So let's get right into it. Alright, here we are in the config YML for Combat Tag Plus. Most of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory because after you change all this stuff, there's little descriptions above where you change your settings. So go ahead and just read that, and I will explain a few more things in depth that are a little bit confusing. But most of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Just read the little description above where you're going to change the settings. So I'm just going to change this to "You have been tagged. Do not log out." So do not log out. I'm going to put a little bold symbol right there. And then no longer in combat. That's the untag message. So I'm just going to scroll down and just briefly go over a few things. So to scroll down here, there's a few things might be a little complicated, but disable block editing. I would not change that because people can like trap and stuff. So while you're in combat, you can like build blocks in your claimed territory. So I just leave most of the stuff to true. You can disable interpearls in combat, which is pretty cool. And here, this disable flying and teleportation thing. So I've used this plugin on my server. So I was like, yeah, I want to disable flying and I want to disable teleportation. But here's the thing. When people are PvPing and getting combos, or they're on blocks and they're jumping or bow boosting or whatever, this kind of conflicts with that because as I experienced from my servers, that basically if you set this to true, it thinks that they're flying and it will just block them, and you get glitched out and you can get crit in the back and die. So I just leave them default. You can set them to true if you want, but some of your players might get mad because they'll just be running or something and they'll get glitched out and die. So I just leave it at false as it is. Then this NPC, basically the NPC is if someone logs out, an NPC will spawn with all their items still and everything. So you can either like kill them right away or do whatever. I guess do whatever you want. So this is the NPC despawn time. So if they log out and you have your other settings set to true, if you want to spawn an NPC, then this is the NPC timeout logger. So when they log out, then their NPC will just despawn. So that's after 60 seconds if you have the NPC set to true on the top of the YML. So another cool thing that the plugin has is custom kill messages. So say, as you see right here, victim was slain by the attacker. So I'm just going to change the color codes real quick, and we can change that to blue and then just leave that to red. And then another cool thing is you can also have it with the item that the attacker attacked with. So say you have like a bow or a shovel or a sword or an axe or something. So it will broadcast the player was slain by the attacker with whatever item that they have. And then this bar API is pretty cool as well. If you have the bar API plugin, we'll also hook into that. And the bar API is where like the boss bar is on the very top of your screen. So you can have like the combat tag, then it will tell you how much time you have left before you can log out. So that's pretty cool if you have the bar API plugin. I would definitely recommend getting that because it's a nice little cool feature. And then down here is where it gets a little bit sort of more complicated, but this is where Jeff wanted me to explain it. So force fields. So if you guys have been on sort of like an HEF server where the spawn is all flat, this is where this force field thing comes into play the most. If you have a regular faction server, I wouldn't. I mean, you can do it, but I would not recommend it just because it can get a little glitchy. But I would definitely recommend this more for a HCF server or some sort of spawn that is flat. So it depends what you're running. This will also hook into factions and world guard as well. So I will show you that in game. Alright, so here is outside the spawn. If you do /fmap, then as you see, I've made the little war zone right here. So you can just like, people can jump down and sort of still be in the war zone without getting combat tagged. But I suggest that if you're running a regular faction server and you have a spawn like this, just claim the whole thing as war zone and you don't have to worry about this force field thing. But I'm going to show you guys how this works. So when you combat tag someone, see, we changed the messages right here. This is what pops up. So it's like the little force field. So players, when they're combat tag, you cannot enter back into here. So this is just what it looks like, and you cannot enter back into the war zone. So alright, so as you see right here, I've hit my other account, and this is what it looks like when the NPC spawns. So as you see, they've combat tag, and boom, there's a message: Soul Striker was slain by ISO Reaper with a stone sword, which is pretty cool. CP logger, that was the logger of my other account. So that's what happens if you set the NPC to true, and that's the little force field barrier thing. So now I'm going to show you how it works with World Guard. Alright, so that was how you use the force field barrier thing with factions with the war zone and safe zone. If you have a spawn like this and you're running a faction server, I would recommend that you claim your whole spawn as war zone instead of a safe zone / war zone. So I would just recommend just claiming the whole thing as a war zone. And now I'm going to show you guys how to do it with your World Guard. So it does hook on to World Guard as well. Make sure I have the second position set. And then we're going to World Guard define spawn. Sure, we'll call it spawn. Why not? Flag spawn and then PvP deny. So this will set up the little area so that PvP will not be allowed. So I'm going to go ahead, and my other account's down here. So I'm going to combat tag him. And combat tag him. So I'm combat tagged on this account, and if I try to go up here, boom, as you see, I cannot do it because that is the World Guard, and that is what it looks like. So this is the whole force field area, and we cannot go inside. As you see, it was a little bit glitchy, so that's what I mean. If players do get glitched out, they can get kind of mad, but it's up to you depending on how you want, and it's just, yeah, it's cool. It's really cool how this all works. And as you see, I'm getting glitched out right now, but it's pretty cool how the whole barrier force field thing works. So it does hook on to World Guard as well, in case you don't have a faction server. So it's just pretty cool how everything works, and I'm no longer in combat, so we are all good to go. One more thing, as you see the force field right here, higher numbers equals more lag. So 10 is a good number if you're having the force field to true, but you can change the item ID if you want. This was red stained glass, of course. If you want to change it, go for it. And then it also hooks on to factions on World Guard, as I mentioned. And then here are disabled commands if you want the disabled commands. But I would definitely remove some of them, because essentials, if you have like donators where you want to like fix or repair, so fix hand and fix all, so you can delete those. So you can remove those if you want them to access inner chest in combat. So it's just totally up to you. A lot of config. Most of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.